Winnipeg is a river city, and that's both a blessing and a challenge. In today's video, we're going back in time to look at the two worst natural disasters in Manitoba: the 1950 Red River flood and the 1997 flood of the century. We'll cover what caused them, what the government did after those events happened, what areas got hit the most, what happened to the surviving homes, and what Winnipeg does now to protect itself today. If you're a homeowner, investor, or new to Winnipeg, this history still matters. And watch till the end to see what the city of Winnipeg is doing from this to ever happening again. So let's dive in. First, in the spring of 1950, Manitoba received an extreme amount of snow followed by rapid melting and heavy spring rain. The Red River started rising in late April. In early May, the Red River peaked at 9.2 meters in James Avenue in Winnipeg. That's right in the heart of the Exchange District, and stayed above the flood stage for 51 days. More than 100,000 people were forced to evacuate. That's 1/3 of Winnipeg's population at that time. Can you imagine that? 1/3 of the city forced to evacuate? Around 10,000 homes were destroyed, 5,000 buildings were damaged, and it was the largest evacuation in Canadian history at that point. Entire neighborhoods underwater, and some points it reached up to 15 feet deep. That's around almost 5 meters. Bridges collapsed, infrastructure failed. Winnipeg was essentially cut in half by water. The hardest hit areas were the low-lying zones near the Red River. Neighborhoods like Point Douglas, San Boniface, Elmwood, some parts of North End, and even outside the city, the entire Red River Valley turned into what looked like a massive lake. Farmlands, small towns, and roads disappeared underwater. This flood forced the government to realize that Winnipeg needed a more permanent flood protection. After 1950, Manitoba launched the most important flood control project in its history, and you can still see it today. The Red River floodway construction began in 1962 and finished in 1968. At that time, critics called the Dove's Ditch, saying it was too expensive. But history proved otherwise. The floodway has since prevented tens of billions with a B of dollars, and is the main reason why Winnipeg has survived later floods. Many homes that survived were rebuilt with higher foundations, elevated above flooding levels, and protected with local dikes and berms. New zoning rules and floodplain regulations were introduced. Over time, homeowners in flood-prone areas were required to either build higher, flood-proof basements or relocate structures to safer grounds. The 1950 flood permanently changed how Winnipeg builds. Fast forward to 1997, once again, heavy snow and spring melt. You have a combination there that pushed the Red River to new extreme levels. This time, Winnipeg had the floodway. The river peaked around 7.5 meters, but without the flood protection, it would have reached 10.5 meters, which would have been enough to cover most of Winnipeg. Around 25,000 people were evacuated and 1,000 homes were damaged. Military, RCMP, and volunteers worked non-stop building dikes and sandbag walls. This flood proved that the floodway worked, but still, the city needed more protection than that. Outside Winnipeg, the hardest hit communities included Emerson, Morris, St. Adolphe, St. Agathe, St. Albert, Niverville, Gretna, and St. Pierre-Joli. Large parts of the Red River Valley were flooded again, especially agricultural areas and towns near the river. After 1997, Manitoba upgraded their flood protection once again. The Red River floodway was expanded to handle larger volumes. Community ring dikes were strengthened. Emergency forecasting and response systems improved, and new construction standards require higher flood protection levels. In many cases, homes once again were raised, flood-proofed, or relocated. So what should homeowners, buyers, or newcomers to Winnipeg know today? Winnipeg is still a river city, and river cities carry some risk. But thanks to decades of planning, flood risk is now better managed than what it was in 1950 or 1997. The backbone of Winnipeg's flood protection is the Red River floodway, a 47-kilometer diversion channel that runs along the east side of the city. And here's how it works. When river levels rise, water is diverted into the floodway at a control structure just south of Winnipeg near the Perimeter Highway. That water travels northeast through the floodway channel, and it is reincorporated back into the Red River near Lockport, well north of the city. In addition to the Red River floodway, Winnipeg and Manitoba use primary and secondary river dikes, community ring dikes, spring flood forecasting and modeling, and strict building and zoning regulations in flood-prone areas. All of this means that the lessons learned in 1950 and 1997 are still prevalent today. Not just with big infrastructure, but with smarter construction and better planning. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know if you liked the video with a thumbs up. If you want me to create more videos like this, let me know in the comment section what topics you'd like me to cover. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.